welcome to Board Game Binge, the place where we bring you bite-sized, bingeable board game content across the industry. I'm your host, James Staley, and in this episode, we're chatting with Nick Federico from Millrat Studio. Nick and his friend Adam's debut title, a 4-game party pack called Millrat Pack, is currently on Kickstarter. Nick, welcome to the binge. How you doing, my friend?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Anytime I think about rats,
Yeah.
I just get excited. There's so many
Why?
rat games out there, they just make me smile. That's actually one of my favorite terms of endearment when I'm talking to somebody in a game and they cut me off or they steal something I was going to do. I'm like, "Oh, you rat," right?
You
So
dirty rat.
it's a good fit. So you and your friend
Hmm.
Adam formed this Millrat studio.
Yes.
Let's start there. Millrat. Where did that come from? Like, where did this name come from?
It came from my partner and friend Adam, who was working day in, day night, like pretty much in what he calls a mill. And so he felt like a rat and just kind of like grinding out hard work day after day. And
Yep.
and so he coined the term, or he says he coined the term. I'm sure he actually did. He's a mill rat, and he actually like helped patent that name and wanted to do something with it and wanted to make some kind of studio.
Yeah.
He didn't really know if he wanted to go into writing or any kind of like design or something. So like we grabbed that name and we kind of ran with it.
So the name came before the game. That's
Yes,
crazy. Wow.
yes.
And then how did you
We're
guys meet? You guys like go to school
yeah,
together
we're
or
we are co-workers at the New England Conservatory of Music as video engineers.
you're video engineers?
Yes, yes.
Nice. And so like for like a marketing agency or what's the
No, the New England Conservatory of Music. It's a music school, a college
Oh,
for
wow.
students who do music. And now he's the school's photographer, and I do streaming and video work there.
Now I'm sure this is a dumb question, but are you
Okay.
guys musical guys as well?
No, we don't have to be to work there. I mean, like he plays the drums a little bit. I know how to play the violin kind of, and
Yeah.
that's enough to get us the job, I guess.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And then so in kind of the you met as coworkers, but were you both like
Hmm.
gamers before you kind of met each
Yeah,
other? Like, did you
yeah.
grow up playing games?
So he started making games when he was a kid, and then it kind of fell off. I always played games because I'm Italian, and we played like old timey Italian games in like
Like
kitchen
Scoba.
poker. Scoba, love Scoba,
Yeah.
and so like I know all those old type of games, and I've played them my entire life. And I started playing more and more like I guess you would call them like modern games now,
Yeah.
and there were a couple games that like I was like, you know what? I think I could pull something off. I could do this. This doesn't seem too hard, and it was very difficult. I created a game that was just like a deck of cards, and I tested it a bunch of times, and then basically went through the steps to get it published, and it got picked up by a publisher. And
Oh,
then
wow. Can you
after
say the
that,
name of the game? Is it a
it's
secret or can you
yeah,
say?
no, it's called Deductio. It's a card game. Everyone gets a number. You try to figure out who's got what number based off of clues that you're forced to give on your turn. It's produced by or it's published by Brain Games.
Brain
Um,
games.
hmm
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and so I had that game and I showed it to Adam when we were bored at work, and he started playing it and he loved it. And he's like, we should make a game, and then it was board game love ever since.
Oh my gosh. So when you say you play modern games, like what are some of the inspiration you've had in terms of the modern game industry? Like in this, like where did
Hmm.
you start?
The game. Have you ever played that one where it's literally just numbers like 0 through I think 99 or 100, and you're supposed to? It's a team game, and you're supposed to play numbers on top of numbers going in ascending order.
Oh, this
But
is
you
the
can't.
mind.
Uh, yeah. Well, no, it's called the game, and it's so difficult to look this game up because it's just called the game. But it's similar to the mind. It's not the same game.
Okay.
Yeah, but same thing. It's limited communication, and you're trying to go from 0 to 100,
Yeah.
and you can play cards off of your friends, and you can descend to help you out in certain times. So
Can
yeah, I
you
kind of like
talk in that one as well in the game?
you can say I don't remember what the rules are, but it's something like you can't say numbers, but you can talk about like, oh, this many days of the week, or like this many eggs in a bundle or whatever. It
Interesting.
like tries to force you to get creative, but there, I don't know. I found like a couple of loopholes. So I was like, I wonder if I could do something like this. And so that kind of inspired
I
me.
wonder which one came first, the mind or the
Ooh,
game. Who inspired who, do you think?
I feel like the Mind is a bigger game and more well
Yeah.
known, so it makes me think that that came second, actually,
Mm.
um, because I could see it finding a smaller game and just kind of like building even more off of that and
Yeah.
turning it into more of a modern game.
I absolutely love that game.
It's great, adding more deduction to it.
Yeah. So is
Yep. So
party games kind of your vibe then? Is that your jam? Or
my
did you ever
vibe,
get into like
my
Catan and things like that?
Yeah, well, not really. Anything over like 20, 30 minutes. And if here's the rule, if I can't teach my parents the game, I'm not playing it because it's gonna be a nightmare. It's gonna be 20 minutes of me explaining the game to my family. They're not gonna understand it. And then it's just gonna be chaos. So
Yeah.
I try to find games that's like 3 word explanations, like play a card, draw a card. That's it.
Yeah,
And
interesting.
so I try to go down that road.
Did you ever get into like the 16 card, 18 card type
Hmm.
games at all? Because those are quick as
Yep.
well, right?
Yep. I one of the games in the pack, we entered into 9 card nano contest and it
Oh,
did pretty well.
interesting.
Yep.
And then in terms of like solo, so have you explored kind of the solo path at all,
Mhm.
or is it predominantly like full party?
Yeah. No, that's a good question. We actually also made another game that didn't make it into the pack that was a solo game. And we took it out because it was a solo game and
Mm,
not a party game. We wanted to focus. We realized we wanted to focus more on people at the table enjoying each other's company rather than
sure.
somebody kind of like playing a solo game, which is totally fine. And like as you'll see later on, like a lot of the games are like very interactive and communicative, and there's a
Yeah.
lot going on basically. So we didn't want to just kind of like isolate one game and make that a solo game.
So how did you go about getting like so and obviously you have this game. Is the solo game going to be launched by you, or are you guys going to pitch that to someone else?
Yeah, like we would love to. I mean, if this pack's a success, like maybe we'll make another pack and throw it in there, or maybe we'll
Got it.
just make it its own thing. But yeah, we have it in our quiver, as we say, ready to go in case we need
Nice.
it for a rainy day.
You could almost do like a solo, like a pack of solo games too, right?
I know, that's what I was thinking. And you know what? Those aren't too hard to play test because I could just play them over and over and over again. Yeah, I don't need
You
anybody
have all the
else.
play
Yeah.
testers you need, my friend, on a
Yeah,
solo game.
just me by myself in the dark. So sad.
And then when you found a publisher for your game, the first game you launched was
Yeah.
Brain Games. How did you go about connecting with them? Like, how did you pitch that game?
I think I did it the wrong way, but I think it worked out uh, perfectly. I went on Cardboard Edison and found the list of publishers that they have, and I went down the list and said like, okay, this is a family card game that they would probably publish, so I'll take this company and send them an email, and then this one's a light deduction game, which my game is, so I'll send them an email, send them an email, a video, and a sell sheet, and then like a quick description of the game, and then sent it to like maybe 50 people, and
Mm,
then like 10 of them said maybe, and like 3 of them said yes, and I basically chose between those 3.
interesting.
Yeah.
So when you guys led into this, you and Adam kind of put this kind of rat theme pack together. Like, where did you guys start on that? Like, did you have kind of all four
Mhm.
games already in like were you just like cranking through games and then you got to a point where you thought, well, we've got enough to put in a combo pack? Was the intent initially we're going to create a combo pack? Like, how take me through how you guys approach that?
Yeah, it's a good question. And we didn't know what we wanted actually. We
Mm,
knew the only thing we wanted was a pack of games that are easy to play in one type of container. And we actually were inspired by the single card contest from not Cardboard Edison, Game Crafter.
hmm.
It's just you make a game out of a single playing card, and the rules have to be on it too. So we
Oh
each made
wow.
one. Yeah, it's difficult, but it's a lot of fun and it forces you to get really creative. So we each made one and we submitted it. We didn't do well, but who cares? It was a lot of fun. And then we were thinking, why don't we just make a whole bunch of these and put them in a pack and like sell a pack as like take anywhere, play with whoever, super simple, super easy. And as we were developing it, we realized they weren't as good as they could be if we added like some dice or some tokens
Mm,
or more cards. So we took the ones that we liked and we developed them a little bit more and more until like they became these small games, but like bigger than like a mint tin game,
Yeah,
and like bigger than like a button shy,
got it. So
but
something
smaller
like
than a
Pixies, like that kind of size.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. It's got like jumbo cards, which are I think like 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches, big enough
Hmm.
to like make a board,
Yep.
or small enough to hold in your hand and it doesn't feel awkward.
That's
Um,
cool. So how long
yeah,
did that process take? So how long were you guys working on those four games?
yeah. Well, we made like 10 single card games in like a couple months, and then we were like, yeah, this isn't great. So we focused on those four for like, well, we focused on those five, that single card game or single player game I was talking to you about, for about a year and a half, 2 years, and then we play tested them for that long, and then we got the art finalized and play tested the art, and then we wrote the rules and play tested the rules. So it was a lot of play testing.
Yeah. And
4 games.
then in terms of putting together the like the artwork and graphic design around it, did you guys outsource that or you guys partially graphic designing yourselves or how did you approach that?
Yeah, like our motto is like community first. We love just like giving back or like donating or finding friends. So
Hmm.
it's Adam's wife's friend went to Mass Art, which is down the street from our school,
Hmm.
and she makes this really nice art, which is like crafty and almost look like homemade, which kind of goes with what we wanted because A, it looks great. B, if we needed to make adjustments, we probably could get away with it because it looks like homemade and maybe we're not very good at it.
Yeah.
So we were able to like kind of sneak that in there, thankfully. And so we kind of, yeah, so we hired her and she wanted to give us a discount. So like we like tried to give her as much like easy work to do because she was kind of like giving us a favor, but like we also want to give her more money, and we also want to like try to like get her word out and like send work her way. So it was like a nice give and take.
Hmm.
And we also try to do things like teach board game design to families and like libraries and like cafes, and just kind of like get, like I said earlier, like get people to the table and like have a good experience, have a good like game night experience with like your friends and family.
Yeah. Can you walk us through? So, of the four games, I want to make sure that I put a little bit of time into each because, again, it
Sure.
is so cool that you guys have got this kind of swath of partiness. I guess I'm going to say that people can experience. Let's start off with someone's why. So, what is this
Sure.
game all about?
The swath of partiness. I love that. Someone's why is a. I'll hold it up. I don't care. It's a word deduction game where you are a vowel and you're trying to figure out who is why. The entire game just is 6 cards and some tokens, and it's a light deduction word game. And on your turn, you can say any word you want. You could say pizza, for example. And if you hear that your vowel that you're holding is in that word, you can take one of the tokens from the center. You don't have to. But that signifies like I have a vowel in this word. So you're either I or A if you take for pizza.
Hmm.
But Y can take whenever they want. They can lie. So they can pretend to be O, or they can just take all the time, or they can take none of the time, and so they might be suspicious. And then the tokens you take, you can use to pay and look at other people's cards for abilities, and then they become your votes at the end of the game. And whoever has the most votes has to reveal their card. And if they're not Y, then Y wins the game. If they are Y has one last chance to win by guessing everyone else's vowel correctly. So you don't want to be too obvious as to what your letter is,
Hmm.
which is why you want to take sometimes and not all the time. If that makes sense.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's really cool. I imagine people are probably going to start like using words that have like a single vowel in it if possible, just to smoke out other people. Or do you have to use a word that has your own vowel in it as well?
you can do whatever you want. If you say a word like owl, OWL, it just
Yeah.
has the letter O in it, and nobody takes, then that's a wasted turn, and nobody learns anything. So you should say words with multiple vowels in it, but you also don't want to say words with too many vowels because then everyone's going to take, and you're also not going to learn anything. So you want to like set traps and be a little clever.
So if you're okay, so let's use the owl as an example. So this is a good one,
Yeah,
right? Because I mean, there's there's intelligence in the absence of information as well, right? So
Hmm.
if nobody takes it, then you know no one's the letter O.
That's not
Uh,
true because you don't have to.
because you don't have to take.
Yeah,
Interesting. So yeah,
yeah,
okay, there we go. That's the catch. So if
yeah.
someone picks a vowel, one word, so you're not going to want to pick words that have one vowel because no one's going to want to smoke themselves
Exactly,
out.
exactly.
Interesting. Okay,
Hmm.
that's quite clever.
Yeah, it's a fun one, and it's so quick. It takes like 10 minutes. People play it over and over again, and then you start to develop like different scenarios, and you're like, oh, Peter always does this, this, and this when he's Y, and so let's do this, this, and this. It creates a nice little Yomi layer.
And what was your inspiration for that? Because it's interesting kind of combo of a social deduction
Yeah.
combined with kind of like wordplay, right?
I like creating games when I have restrictions, and so we needed a deduction game for this pack, and I knew my restrictions were low component count. So I was like, okay, let's do like 5 or 6 cards, and letters are a good restriction. So we started with the most common letters, RST, LNE, and then we realized like that didn't really work. And so like we just kind of kept narrowing it down. It's like, oh, let's do vowels, and then it makes sense. Y is not really a vowel, but sometimes it is. So like it can be like the one you are trying to figure out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so restrictions is the answer.
Oh, that's cool. That's very,
Yeah.
very clever. What
Thanks.
order did this come in? Was this the first one you guys came up with? Like, I'm curious when of the four games, which one came when?
That one came third, I think.
Third.
Yeah. Or maybe second. I don't know. We knew we wanted a strategy game, a party game, a deduction game. We didn't know
Yeah,
what the last one was, and we it turned out to be a push your luck game.
that's cool. And then this was
Yeah.
Scrapbook. Now walk me through Scrapbook.
Yeah. So Scrapbook is a lot of fun. I was actually opposed to the idea that Adam came up with because it requires your cell phone, and I don't like cell phones at the table. I want everyone talking to each other. I want everyone looking at each other and having a
Yeah.
discussion. And as soon as the cell phone hits the table, someone's gonna be scrolling around. But no, we encourage it because it uses your camera roll and it uses random photos on your camera roll, which sounds extremely dangerous, and it's
Yeah.
not. We promise. But what you do is you're all on a team, and somebody says go, and when that person says go, everyone scrolls through their camera roll. When that person says stop, they stop. Whatever photo they landed on with their finger is the photo they have to use for the round. So let's just say it's your dog or something. You now have to use pinch to zoom in something in that photo to recreate something on the scrapbook cards. And the scrapbook cards are just kind of like a mishmash of like abstract art. And so maybe you zoom in on the dog's eye and it's like part of a circular marble or something, to try to represent that on the card. And then you physically take your phone and you place it on the table. And on the table, there's a makeshift frame of 4 cardboard, like L-shaped
Hmm.
components. And so if the marble you're trying to recreate is in the top left corner, you physically take your phone and put it in the top left corner. So it looks like you're recreating a scrapbook. And everybody does that. So at the end of the round, there's a bunch of phones and they're all like different shapes and colors and sizes and whatnot. And then the person guessing shuffles all the cards, and then they look at all the cards and they try to figure out which one the team is trying to recreate.
Okay, I'm going to paraphrase this just so I fully understand this.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm going to pull up my phone. We're all going to do
Yes.
the same thing.
Yes.
I'm going to find an image. You're going to say stop. I'm going to stop on a picture of, say I took a picture of my kid's
Mm-hmm.
graduation.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's holding a scroll. So I'm going to basically zoom in on her scroll. And then am
Sure.
I like freeze framing that? Am I like doing another thing to like so it
That's
doesn't
it.
go in? Okay, and then so I put that on the table
Yep.
and I put in the say the left hand corner, right hand corner,
Sure.
and then everyone's gonna do I zoom back out before I put the phone there?
No, no, you just leave it there.
All right. And then so I flip over, then everyone does that with their phone. So there's four phones essentially, or however many phones
Sure.
are playing in
Yep.
that framed area.
Yep.
And then the other person's going through the cards and they're trying to find out which card most closely represents the photos.
All of these photos. Yes.
Got it.
Correct.
That's cool. And then how do you
Yeah.
score it? Is it like a community scoring? Is it kind of like just one where you're just trying to hit like a score together or?
No, that's interesting you asked that. We know party games have this weird issue of like when you're playing a party game, it almost always comes down to like judgment calls for some
Hmm.
reason. It's like, oh, I like that answer better, so I'm giving them points. No, we don't want to do that. It's a team game. If you get it right, if you, the guesser, guesses the correct card, you add a new card. to that pile that you're going to
Mm.
shuffle and look at next round. So it gets harder. If you get it wrong, you get a strike. 2 strikes, you lose the entire game. Yeah. So we try to avoid that situation of just like judgment, I
Mm.
guess, and just like I like this because I like this, and then it kind of breaks the game apart a little bit. It makes it feel more like an activity than a game. So we
Sure.
try to keep the structure in sound and in check. But it's really nice because after everyone's done scrolling and they choose their photo, there's a moment of just like, oh my God, I can't believe I got that. And then everyone shows like, oh, I went on this trip to Venice, and then oh, I didn't know you had a cat, and then everyone talks for like 2 minutes. We didn't even put that in the rules. Well, I guess we did now because it just kept happening. But it's a nice moment of everyone just like getting to know each other even more. Like even if you're friends, you'd see
Mm-hmm.
like something you normally wouldn't see, or like I would see something in my phone I haven't even looked at it in years. Um, so it's great in that aspect. We didn't even expect that to happen, but it worked out.
No, it's cool. And then
Yeah,
footfalls. Then so this finally we're getting to the rats.
we're getting to the rats. The rats are here. Footfalls is a game that is this is the strategy game. So you're all a pack of rats. You each control a pack of rats. You're racing from one side of the bridge to another side of the bridge. It's based off of backgammon. So in backgammon, you're trying to get all of your pieces from one side to the other, and you can move them independently or one at a time or whatever you want to do. Um, so you can move like up, down, left, right, and that's basically your standard movement. But there are fun abilities like jump, diagonal, push someone off the entire board, or slide across the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you choose, you put at the top of this column that you're going to create in the game. And then the next person who goes after you is now going to get that ability and one more. So
Mm.
that was inspired from Onitama. We wanted to create some kind of like rotating ability system that whatever I choose, you get next turn. So if I choose the one that I can push you off the bridge, you now get it next turn. Maybe you can push me off the bridge.
Got
Um,
it.
so like you kind of have to work with what you got, but you also get to choose your own ability. It gets very strategic, which is nice. And you get to build the bridge as you go, which is cool. And it's very thinky, and it's still a lot of fun. And definitely there are shouting matches, even though it's like a strategy game.
And then is it again, is this a co-op or is this more first to get all their rats onto the other side?
This is a competitive game. It's
Mm.
2 to 4 players, but it's yeah, whoever gets all of the rats off the bridge first wins. So I've seen games where people just like take one of their tokens and try to fly them across the entire thing, and then they left someone behind, and it turns out that didn't do anything. So it's another game where you want to like play it over and over because there are a lot of close situations, or like there are situations where you get the feeling of like, oh, I should have done this instead of that,
Yeah.
and I want to do it again. Let me try it again. Um,
Are you rolling
and
the dice? Because I noticed the dice have different symbols on the different sides. So they're like the
no,
rat dice.
there's no dice. Those are actually the rat tokens. They're little like
Those are rat
cubes.
tokens.
Yeah, those are your tokens that you move across the bridge. We
Got
wanted
it.
them thick and beefy, so you could just like pick them up easy with your hand.
So the top is basically representative of them walking. Is that what that is?
Yeah, if you're looking at it from a top down, like
Got it.
bird's eye point of view, it's
Ah, I see. Okay, okay,
yeah,
okay. Yeah, very cool.
yeah,
And then
it's
last but certainly not least,
bad eggs.
bad eggs. No one likes bad eggs.
Nobody likes bad eggs. Exactly. It's a fun push your luck token flipping game. There's basically like 2 phases in this game. The first phase is like craps, but with eggs. Someone's gonna roll dice, and you're gonna basically determine if you think the dice rolled are gonna be within the range the
Hmm.
token is on. So if it's between like 4 and 11, you say, yeah, I think the roller can make it, or no, I don't think that they can. And then, based off of the outcome of everyone's decision, you're gonna get an egg minimum, is what we call it. So, like, let's say, for example, you have an egg minimum of 4. Um, that means you need to flip over 4 yolks, 4 good yolks, in this pile of tokens that are face down on the table before you can start scoring any points at all.
Mm.
And that doesn't mean like 4 tokens, because sometimes tokens have multiple eggs, because sometimes you can get a double yoker, as we say, or there's one with 5. or there are just abilities that you can get, and you can kind of have some take that moments in the game. But there are some bad eggs, which are green ones, and if you get 2 bad eggs as you're flipping over these tokens, you lose everything, you lose all your points. So it's interesting because the first phase you want to go as far as you can to get a lower egg minimum, so you can start scoring points sooner, which is a push your luck. And then the second phase is even more push your luck because you're trying to push your luck to get as many points as you can. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's bad egg.
So, in terms of player counts, it seems like most of these are accommodating quite a large player count. I think the Footfalls is up to 4, but the other ones I believe are up to 6, right?
Yeah, so we wanted like a party game, like night feel. Like if it's you and a bunch of friends, like there's
Yeah.
no problem playing any of these games. Like yeah, I think Footfalls is the smallest with 4. But I mean, you can just play as many of these games as you want for as long as you want with like a good group of people. And the idea is like if you like deduction, like let's play someone's why, and then if I like party games, like let's move on to scrapbook right after. And then if you want to keep playing, keep playing. If you want to play the game again, play the game again. If you want to, if these are just warm up games to your big game night of Dungeons and Dragons, that's totally fine. It's kind of like a catch all like
This
variety.
must have been fun for you guys in terms of just the playtesting and getting
Yeah.
the laughs around the table, right? And having
Yes.
just being able to observe all that as you go, right?
Oh my gosh, like the amount of playtesting we did was insane. We tested with anybody, everybody, all ages, every person we could get our hands on, just to see like how they played it and like if that caused any issues. So there really aren't any like real cracks. A couple of these games were broken, which was great because then we could fix them and make
Yep.
them better. But yeah, it was awesome to see like these great big reactions in such small packs. Like you wouldn't think like our games could create those reactions, but they do, which surprised me and
Yeah.
Adam. Yeah, normally like when you think of small games, like oh yeah, a single player solitaire game, you're gonna play by yourself, or like a 2-player 18 card game, whatever. It's like no, these can hold up their own for like the entire night. Um, yeah, yeah,
Oh, totally.
they do a good job.
Where are you guys going from here? Like, is the plan to be full-time publishers? Is that kind of the goal now? Like with
Hmm.
this is this kind of the first domino, so to speak, that you're kicking over in terms of your overall publishing journey, or what's the plan? And then is there other things in kind of in the wings you're working on?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a success and people like it and they we get good responses, then yes, we will keep making games because that's what we would love to do. But
Mm.
if it's not on the cards, it's not on the cards. It's totally fine. We understand. But yeah, we are developing a second game that's called. Well, I won't say the name just in case it changes. But it's a cooperative push your luck deck builder. So
Oh,
everyone's
cool.
building their own deck, and you're all on a team. So like maybe my deck is like the support deck, and your deck is
Hmm.
the aggressive deck, and you flip over as many cards as you can, and they're like bad cards that make you lose everything. And you can like negate those cards based off of your teammates, and you're all trying to like help each other out. And there's like a pot in the middle that you earn money from, or two, and then you use that money to buy better cards, and you add those to your deck, and you talk about who should buy what based off of who has what cards, to like make everyone's deck unique and strong in their own way.
Oh, super cool.
Yeah,
Well,
looking
for a
forward to it.
Millrat pack, I'm going to encourage people to check it. I'm going to put a link in the show notes, and or they can just type in Millrat pack and they'll find it. Obviously on Kickstarter.
Yeah,
I gotta wish you and Adam all the best on this. This looks like
thank
a
you,
lot of fun,
thank you.
and anytime you can bring joy to people's lives with party
Yeah,
games, I'm all in. I absolutely love it.
yeah, thank you,
All right, my
and
friend.
thank you for having us.
No worries. All the best. You take care.
All right, you
Cheers.
too.
This has been an episode of the Board Game Binge podcast, hosted by James Staley, produced by James Staley and Mike Bruner, with original music by Nick Smith. If you would like to watch these interviews live, simply subscribe to our YouTube channel, Board Game Binge, and you'll get access to live interviews, giveaways, and interesting board game content from across the industry. I can't wait for you to join us. See you next time.